I think it's as a commit. Is it online?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, as a committee member, I think, as in the league as a whole, I don't think. I don't think any malicious word, as in you get the tier 1 lot having to go at each other at some points. I remember that can be very toxic, but it's on the fine line of not going beyond unacceptable. It's starting to, but I think. But yeah, going back to, I think for me, I understand that different cultures have different words to describe different things, and it is as acceptable as, I think I remember Thierry said that Dutch use a specific word to describe people, and but it's as in, and you get different cultures and that, but I think it's also knowing that you're in an international league. Yes, you're in Europe, you get a whole bunch of cultures, so you get different words of acceptability on if it's bad or whatever. But yeah, going back to the point, it's pretty, I think, unacceptable when they don't consider the fact that some people from different countries will take offence to that, which they're in their absolute right to. So we have to, as a committee, protect and have an interest of the whole of what people find offensive. I know I'm going round in circles, but I think it's all to do with different cultures having different acceptability on words, but it is. But people do have to understand that you're in a league where you have to not go above the limit, and also I think you shouldn't really be putting words in your YouTube posts.
Well, exactly, and that's it. You know, that's the bottom line. Is that you're showing that off on YouTube, so you're actually giving subscribers and people who might come across your channel a really bad message by calling someone, let's just say for conscientious reasons, calling someone a fucking moron, or saying, this is what happens when you let your father play Formula 1, and you know, that really you know, you do have people like iContrast and that who make videos with titles like, this guy's the dirtiest driver I've ever seen, or this guy shouldn't be racing F1, but he's doing that on the account of viewership. He's not racing leagues all the time, he's racing in public lobbies, letting people do whatever the hell they want with them, and then he, with their consent basically, to then smear them on his channel for publicity, and that's good, because that gives them some notoriety. It doesn't paint them as a dirty driver or whatnot. It's just that they were a target of iContrast's content. In fact, I remember once upon a time, T. McMardick made an appearance on PS4, and a lot of our Transnation eSports boys took their time in absolutely demolishing him to get content. In fact, I think you were in that too, weren't you?
Yeah, I hit him.
I think I think I either got in for one race or missed them. But those are the kind of things. But when you're in a league and you're representing yourself, your country, and your beliefs, keep it out of YouTube. People don't want to see that. If you're upset with something and an incident happens, don't go and call them
I think also it's from from what I've been taught at school is that everything everything online. This is gonna. I'm just making it short because I'm gonna end up going on and on about it. But it's basically you are Mike. Your name can be tracked. As an example, employees can look at Facebook, for example, Twitter, like any social media site, and if they find stuff like that on your account, they're not going to employ you. This is going. It can even go out from league racing, as in it can even destroy your possibility of getting a good job, because they do look, or some companies do look online and look at your profile on what content you say out, because they want to know stuff about you rather than you submitting a what's it called? Brett, can you help me with this?
Sorry, I was actually gloating on something. The idea of principle is that the internet obviously is a very dark place, sort of, when it comes down to social interaction with people and stuff like that. You kind of, you have to be in a very dark place to find a lot of that kind of content too, sort of, especially if you're searching it. Cyberbullying, cyber harassment, cyber, all those kind of stuff. It does happen, and we do see it quite often. But when you're kind of trying to show people that you're a professional, well, I wouldn't say professional, but a semi-professional esport driver, trying to make your name in the world of Formula 1 esports, Formula 1 league racing, going around calling people, being racist and sexist and a bigot is only going to get you really noticed in the wrong ways. And frankly, if it were up to me personally, I would have taken that YouTube account and shown that to, because Jaya is a part of a league called ISRL. Now, I would have had the right in mind to show, if I knew who the leader of ISRL was, I would have shown this guy that YouTube channel and said, this is the kind of driver that you've got in your league. Do you really accept that kind of behaviour? Now, don't get me wrong, I like to laugh here and there too. I don't mind, when you're calling someone a muppet or something like that for an incident, that's fine. That's tension. That's hot-headedness, and we all get that way. I mean, the amount of times I've had to go at a few people, not maliciously, but it's all about if you think you're gonna. This is a message I'm going to give to the entirety of YouTube, the Transnation Esports, and any other league that's watching or will see this video. When you're in an incident after a race, don't go near your phone, don't go near Discord, don't go near whatever program you use to communicate with people. Get up, turn your PlayStation off, go outside, or if it's night time, go straight to bed, cool off, and then come back with, like for me, it'd be come back in an hour, or if you're in Europe and the UK when you race at those times, go to bed, wake up in the morning with a clearer head, and discuss things rationally. That's the problem. This is where the toxicity comes in league racing, is that people brew on the racing incidents they've had, first turn incidents, major shunts, unfair penalties, and they brew on it during the race, and then they explode right at the end. This is where, a part of me kind of wished that there was a proceed where you could shut the server down for a set period of time so that nobody could access it until I decide to reopen it. It would be good, but it's impossible. But anyway, kind of going off track a little bit. So, all I'm trying to say, and the reason I made this announcement based on this information is that it's not going to be put in the rules because it is a very it's one of these rules called common sense. When you're reporting a driver incident for any reason at all, your video must contain only the words of Transnation Esports, Racing Report, and the division or tier that you race in. Anything that makes it seem derogative, rude, racist, sexist of any sort will be asked to be amended within 3 hours of the report being posted. Failure to do so will now lead to championship disqualification, and that will now be an adhere rule. There is already a rule set in place for that. If there is any form of types of distinguished abuse, or there's a word I'm trying to think of, but it's not coming to me. Basically slandering, abusing, or using YouTube as a catalyst to abuse someone, you'll be excluded from the championship. So if you're a champion, and here's the thing, this is the part that really gets to it. Jaye was the Wednesday Night Division Championship points leader, and he was leading the championship by 155 points with 5 races left to go. Now, he could have just as easily have changed the video to the request that we gave him, and all would have been fine. But his upbringing, as Joe put it, his culture dictated that he did no wrong. So he got disqualified from the championship and banned from the Transnation Esports because he stuck to his beliefs instead of doing the right thing and adhering to what the officials were telling him to do. And we also, another part of the reason we banned him also is that we also believe he was the actual perpetrator behind the Wednesday Night Division Hungarian Grand Prix random invite driver scam. And we believe that Thomas Berger, Thotho NL, was protecting him, as he was the only other associate in the party at the time when that transpired. So that's part of the reason as well. But I digress. That's regionals. We're moving on to the nationals. So Joe, tell me one thing. Does it feel weird that we're racing Russia today in the F2 nationals and then going to Japan for the F1 tomorrow?
Yes. It's gonna, because I think F2 is one of those categories where you can. The cars are difficult to drive.
I do believe we have just lost him again. Okay, look. I just want to think about this for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I know where he was coming. I know where he was about to come from by saying that driving very difficult cars around a circuit like that, and then moving to the F1 cars would be a lot easier to understand. But yeah, I'll just see if he will leave and come back, and hopefully, have I got you, Joe? Nah, it's definitely on my end. What I might do is we'll take one last break, and when we come back, I'll get Joe to broadcast it so that I just have to keep fiddling with my internet connections every time we drop out. So stay tuned.